All right, everyone. Welcome back to Clan Brandolorian. We are here today joined by two very special guests, and I can't wait to get this started. We, of course, will start off with show and tell, just like every other podcast here on Clan Brandolorian. So thank you guys for joining. Let's get it. Now I'm going to go ahead and add our guest today. First, we'll start with Bailey. You guys already know who he is. Welcome to the chat. We are here. This is a familiar face if you've definitely seen Clan Brandolorian. And we're going to add another special guest, and that is Star Wars Fanatic. This is Gerald. How you doing today, bro?
Good. How you doing? And Bailey, hey, go Bengals.
Oh, I'll let you two fight it out while I sit at home during the playoffs. Go Broncos.
Hey, Bengals don't have a ring yet in all their years of existence, so I can't hate.
Yeah, can't ever leave Joe Burrow out. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Nah, just bump into him and he'll be out.
Oh, anyways, guys, today we are going to start off with show and tell as always. Bailey, go ahead and show us what you got today.
So nothing too exciting. The new Legos came out Friday, Sunday when we're recording this, and so this is my first one of the anniversary minifigs that come out. So this is the Fives one.
Yes.
And it came with the Tantive boarding scene, which was okay. It's all right. But I really just kind of bought it for Fives.
Yeah, I mean, $50 for Fives, you can't be too mad. That's a clean fig, man. I love that one.
Yeah, it's fire. I love it.
I can't wait to get it.
It's really nice.
It's the best one of them, I think.
Oh, yeah. I think the next one that comes out is Saw Gerrera with the Sith Infiltrator. And, I mean, I love, Saw Gerrera, but I think if we got a Rogue One set for the 25-year anniversary, that would be even more fire. But, I mean, that's just my opinion.
Malik's out with R2 now, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah, the Darth Malik looks pretty neat as well, and it's like a unique figure itself with the kind of like the mouthpiece that goes around. So, yeah. Gerald, what you got today?
I got two things. Let me reach over here. First is my Hot Toys Boba Fett. This was donated to me by one of my subscribers.
That's crazy.
Donated 2 figures so far, and he's got 3 more on the way. Like Hunter and Cody and somebody else. Django Fett.
Oh,
and then the second thing I got is my guy Jeff back here. My damn cord on my camera's too short. And my hand's in the way. That's cute. All right, there we go. Jeff. That's my custom Mandalorian armor that I made.
Dude, yeah, that thing's badass.
That's insane.
What was the start for that? Like, how did you get all that going, like, to create it?
My wife bought me a Boba Fett helmet for Christmas one year, and it needed a lot of work. It was one of the cheapo ones, which isn't bad for a shell. So I just painted it, and I wanted it yellow and black, and I was like, okay. And then somebody saw it on one of my channels and said, hey, I got some extra Boba Fett armor if you want it. And the chest piece and the gauntlets. And I was like, yeah, I'll take it. So I showed him my address. He sent it to me, and I worked them and painted them and everything. And then I just started adding more to it. Found some stuff on Amazon to add to it. And I had an old K98 pouch from World War II, painted it, and threw it on there.
Damn.
It grew from there.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's have you taken it to any cons?
Yep, the Cincinnati Comic Expo. I've taken it there a couple times. I think I was actually wearing it when I met Timothy Zahn.
Oh, man. What did he say anything for it?
Yeah, he thought it was really cool. He got pictures with me and stuff, and He was really loving it. I got to talk to him for about a half hour. There was nobody in line to meet him, and he was super cool. Dude was awesome. He didn't charge me for autographs. Gave me 2 autographs. We did pictures and just chatted. Him, my son, and I, and it was just an awesome time. Dude was great. And it was like 3 years ago, and he gave me some insights into the Ahsoka series back then, and told me, "You better not say a freaking word either." And I didn't. I didn't say anything. As much as I wanted to on my channel, I didn't say a word about any of it. I said,
wow.
"You'll see when it comes out." That's all I'm telling you.
Wow. And did those things he tell you, did they play out right?
Yeah. He told me that he was the advisor for Ahsoka for Thrawn.
Wow.
And said that he was working close with him to make sure he got Thrawn right and all this. And told me, he didn't tell me the entire storyline, but told me Thrawn is in it and you're going to love him. He's going to be awesome.
Dude,
that's nasty.
It's insane. So yeah, I can't hate on the Ahsoka series just because Timothy Zahn told me from his own mouth this is what to expect.
Dude, that's crazy. I would have been like, "You're lying, right?" Like,
I did. I was like, "You serious?" I was like, "Thrawn's my favorite Imperial. Come on, man, don't jerk me."
Yeah, I was gonna say, because when I met Hayden last year in Denver at Fan Expo, I like looking back at it, I'm like, you knew and you already recorded all of your scenes and roles in Ahsoka, and you didn't even tell me. Like it's weird to think about. Like they've already done stuff that we have zero clue and idea about.
Right.
I mean, you knew about Thrawn, but like I didn't. Who would have ever known that he was going to be in a world between worlds scene with Ahsoka, or have flashback scenes and the hologram scene when Ahsoka's training, talking about Grievous, Ventress. Like it's just insane to know that they know stuff that we don't.
Yeah, and I think that I talked to him even before Ahsoka was announced. So he gave that away to me.
Man,
I was like, man, I love Ahsoka. I love Thrawn, man. This is combining 2 things. I almost cried. I was like, oh, I'm tearing up, buddy.
Man, that's crazy. That's awesome, though. I mean, you were telling me about the Thrawn books, and like I know Bailey, you have a friend that read all the Thrawn books, don't you?
Yeah, I do. He's got them, and I might borrow them from him.
Yeah. See, I was learning more, like obviously, me, like I don't really like to read, but I need to start reading because there's just so much backstory and more intel on these characters that we know, and even some characters that we can bring to live action finally. But like the Grisk, like all of that stuff, like you were mentioning yesterday on your channel, Gerald, like I'm just like, dude, Thrawn might not be the only dude, because in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's just gonna be Thrawn, Night Troopers fighting Boba Fett, Fennec Shan, Mando, Grogu, But when you think about it, that's just one dude in an army versus all of these quote unquote heroes. There has to be another, side to the, bad side. So, I mean, damn, like this, it's crazy.
Yeah, not to mention, I mean, you got the whole New Republic going after him too. So it can't just be Thrawn and a couple Imperial remnants.
Right.
They'd squash him easily and quickly.
Yeah.
Even though he's a master tactician and all that, they still will just overwhelm him and beat him. So he has to have something else he's fighting for. And then another big bag coming in and him saying, wait a minute, assholes. I'm not here to hurt you guys. I'm here to stop these guys.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot to put together. I think it'll be pretty good. Bailey, is there anything with Thrawn you want to see happen coming up in the Dave Filoni film?
I've read some about him. I don't know enough. But, so I can't really say what I'd like to see. I just know that I want to see more.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am too, because the inspiration in seeing Thrawn and him, obviously being in like Rebels, and then we know like backstories like him and Anakin, were side by side in the Clone Wars for a little bit, and seeing all them to come together, gotta love that, and especially with them coming to live action, there's more stories to be told for Thrawn, so that's a good thing for sure.
No, he worked side by side with Anakin, then he worked side by side with Darth Vader and figured out they were one and the same. And then Vader told him, look, you don't want to die. You're going to shut up and never mention that name again.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah.
I also love the connection in Ahsoka that he mentions to Morgan Elsbeth. Like, oh yeah, I know who Ahsoka's master is. He's quite much, you know.
Yeah. If she's
And
anything like her master, then we're in trouble.
yeah, but I think that's an awesome connection. You know, like the entire Star Wars saga is about Anakin, and I love the character of Anakin. You know, turning into Darth Vader. So I mean, I can't be mad at it.
Right. Back when the prequel hate was going on, I was like, why are y'all hating this? They're like, oh,
Yeah.
the acting sucks, the directing sucks. I'm like, hang on a second. George Lucas set Star Wars up as a soap opera. How many soap operas have good acting? None. No good acting, no good directing. It's bad dialogue, and that's how George Lucas set it up. If you watch the original trilogy, it's the same way. The dialogue's clunky, it's horrible. The jokes are one-liners, and they don't really hit hard because they're a soap opera in space.
That's fair.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, really, realistically, like a couple of years ago, if you told me you didn't like the prequels, I'd be like, "Oh, you suck." You know, why? But then, you know, when you're more grown up and you watch movies for a movie, you're like, "Oh yeah, I mean, there are some missing things here, but it's Star Wars, so I love it." You know, it can have,
Right.
it can be full of flaws, but I'm still gonna love it no matter what.
Right. And why bully actors and stuff? That's stupid.
Yeah, that's the weird thing.
I saw an interview, I think it was Hayden Christensen the other day, and he said that he didn't understand the hate because once you see the credits, the opening credits, you know, in a galaxy far, far away, you should suspend your sense of reality. You got to understand, you know, it's a movie. You're here to have fun and enjoy it, and it's not really supposed to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then what do you think a sequel hater is going to do? Wait, that doesn't make sense. Hayden didn't say that. They paid him to say that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like just like they're saying now that they paid Dave Filoni to say what he said. He said he always starts his stories in the prequels and then ends them with the Rise of Skywalker, and everybody's like, "Oh, he paid to say that. Of course he's going to say it." Man, the dude's one of the highest ranking people in Lucasfilm. They can't pay him enough to say something like that.
Yeah. What else are they going to give him? You know, it's that. I mean, if you think about it, that's the timeline he gets to work with. You know, 1 to 9. Like that's
right. That's all there is.
Yeah.
He really doesn't get to ignore them either.
Yeah, you can't.
No. Yeah.
And
just like everybody wanted him to ignore the prequels, and he didn't. He banked on them. He
improved on them too, even.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen. The everything that they're doing in the Mandoverse, I love that because it's a different point of view, and especially it's supposedly in Luke Skywalker's prime. So if we get to see more Luke, you know, we get to see a whole other side to him. When he came back in the Mandalorian season 2, like badass, like Din Djarin's struggling, beating the Dark Troopers, you know, and Moff Gideon alone. But then Luke comes in and we get to see, you know, light side and dark side. We get to see the Anakin, you know, light and dark in his son. So him just whooping ass, just left and right, force choking and crushing a Dark Trooper, throwing them all around. Like that is one of the best things that they could have done for Luke's character. Whether Filoni or Favreau thought about that, like, hey, let's bring him in and just have him just fuck everything up. And
he looked a lot like his dad slicing through battle droids.
Yes. The connections are amazing.
Yep.
Speaking of Return of the Jedi, actually, I forgot to show what I have.
Yeah, you did.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't show this. But yeah, the Max Rebo Walmart exclusive. This thing does not breathe the air I do. It's in an acrylic case. And this is probably the first time it's seen normal air since I picked it up at Walmart. So yeah, a little Max Rebo today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I have a Target exclusive Boba Fett that has never been opened. It's in an acrylic case too. It looks like the orange and brown camo, but it's not camo. They call it something else. I forget what it was called. X something. I don't know.
Is
But
it the art
The
edition?
ones.
I don't know. Maybe.
Also might be
It's in the other room, or I'd grab it real quick. But
no, it's all good. I think I know what you're talking about because they did like a art series for Darth Vader. I know that there's a couple for Boba Fett. I think C-3PO has one.
R2 does.
Yeah, there's an R2 one. But yeah, I think Obi-Wan too, like old Ben Kenobi. There's a couple art series of him too. I never did grab those. That was kind of towards the beginning of when I started collecting. I saw a lot of those, but I just kind of overlooked it now, thinking I want them now.
Yeah. My bad trait is I open all my Funkos, other than like the ones that come in the acrylic, like the movie poster one that me and you got at the mall.
Yeah.
And that other than the Thrawn one you got me for Christmas, all the other ones I have opened. Thrawn's still in the case though.
See, with mine, like it depends. Like if it's something I have just one of, I'll keep it in the box. But if it's like the movie scene or like the 2-packs, I'll take those out of box. But like I have Obi-Wan and Vader 2-pack, the reimagined 1977
oh, those are cool.
Disney 100, R2 and C-3PO, R4, R2, and then Darth Maul versus Ahsoka. Like I got to keep those in the box. But if it's like Boba and Fennec on the throne, which is one of my favorites, like that's got to be out the box. It has to have that shine to it. But I mean,
yeah,
we have the other Max Rebo too. I think you have that too, Bailey, don't you?
Yeah, it's the first Funko I ever bought was Max Rebo.
Yeah, he chills in the box too because my wife bought Lindsay bought that Max Rebo, but once I saw this one, I was like, "Yep, make that 2 Max Rebos."
There's never enough Max Rebos.
Speaking of Max, do you think we see him again in the Mandoverse?
I hope so. I mean, he's obviously such a small character, but it's just kind of goofy and fun when they throw him in there. Like when he's in Boba Fett and he's like, "Hit it, Max." I was like,
yeah,
Max Rebo, let's go.
Just hit it right away too. Gotta love that.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's funny when they threw him in the Skywalker Saga game.
Yeah, he's like a
jazzy, deep ass voice.
Yeah, he's like Duke Ellington.
Hey man,
know any bounties around here? I'm just trying to play a gig in Naboo. You know what I'm saying?
It's just fun for them to throw him in there, and so I like to see it. It's just fun. So I'm always happy to see more Max Rebo.
Yeah, I hope he got out of Curtis Whip's little brothel in time.
He was fine. He wasn't there. They didn't show him.
No body, no death.
No body, no crime. He took the day off.
Yeah, he was in that gig.
He was down in Hammerheads and Mos Eisley.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. Maybe I think, speaking of Boba Fett, a lot hated it, a lot loved it. I'm definitely one that loved it. I know Mando got his episodes, but really I think the Book of Boba Fett was like Mando season 2.5. It was in the same lineage, but just kind of off to the side. Let's see what Boba's doing real quick, and then we'll catch up later. Plus, it's a marketing hit. It's Boba Fett. It's gonna be watched. So I think the Mando episodes are obviously brilliant. I think it really shows, how important Boba Fett is actually to Mando and Grogu's story. So that's why I'm very excited to see how Boba comes back and what his worth is. But I mean, getting Max Rebo back, for the little bit we did, getting to see Cobb Vanth again. I love Cobb Vanth.
I do too.
Fennec is awesome. I loved seeing Kersantin in live action. I thought he would just forever be like a Legends character. So seeing him, and then more Hutts, we only see Jabba, Zero the Hutt, but live action, we only see Jabba. So I think that's really cool that we get to see the twins. They're nasty. They're grimy. I think that was a real good touch and then Danny Trejo. You can't be mad that we get to see another Rancor.
You got Machete and Star Wars. Come on, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just everything was a hit for it. And then also I feel bad because I'm leaving out Cad Bane. You know, we get to see him for the first time. I thought it was a really good series.
Yeah. It's got its moments where I was like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know, nothing's going to be perfect. Minus Ahsoka is the only Star Wars show where there's not scenes where I'm like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, overall, it's a really good show and it's really entertaining. And I'll watch it again probably soon.
Yeah. It's a fun watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, like a lot of people complain about the speeder chase and all that stuff. Man, that was 15 seconds of the show. That was 15 seconds, and people were like, "It sucked because of that." I'm like, "You let that ruin the entire show for you?" Then I'm sorry, but Boba Fett was trying something new. He was tired of being a bounty hunter, tired of getting himself in trouble or getting almost killed or whatever for these other people. So everything about him in this show was different. And it was supposed to be. He wasn't the silent, strong guy anymore. He's like, okay, I want to be this kind of guy now. I'll talk more, I'll show my face more, and I'll do this more, and I'll lead people with respect and all this stuff because I'm old and I want to retire and don't need that old persona anymore. I have the reputation that I should be able to go off of that. Well, in the end, he finds out that reputation wasn't enough, that this wasn't the real kind of life for him, that his life has always been about being that strong, silent guy. And he tells Fennec pretty much that same thing. This isn't for me. Then who is it for? And they flash to Cobb Vanth in the Bacta chamber. Need Cobb Vanth back. They need to quit dicking around to get Cobb Vanth back in a series.
Give him his own
with
show.
Some armor.
Give him a show. Space Western with Cobb Vanth, please.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I don't think they could have picked anybody better than Timothy Oliphant for that.
No, he's a really good actor. He's cool.
Yeah.
I think what would be crazy, I mean, and even just to branch off real quick to Boba Fett, like he even told Chrysanthemum, like, quit working for people like that. They'll get you killed. And I mean, that's just a flash of, Boba not wanting, like you said, not get killed almost every mission he gets. It's, he has all the money he needs now. And he also has the wisdom from the Tuscans. He has a whole different perspective on life now. He doesn't have to be alone. He doesn't have to, work as hard for money. He can just chill. But I think Cobb Vanth leading would be awesome. Get the people of Mos Pelgo, Freetown, get them to, Mos Espa, maybe link to Mos Eisley and keep everything as one. And now Cobb Vanth runs Jabba's palace. I think that would be tight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, keep him as a marshal, and maybe even, Mando comes back. Look, dude, you helped us out a lot. You even took a bullet for us. Let's get you into that creed and get you some proper armor so you don't have to take another bullet.
Dude, that would be nice. I wonder what kind of modification old Thundercat's character gave him. Because he did get shot like in the shoulder. So I wonder if he's going to have like a cybernetic collarbone or like a little shoulder. I think that'd be tight.
That'd be cool.
So a little gun in it.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like Miggs Mayfield. He had that one gun that had the
that I thought was goofy, but you can't hate the whole show because of that. I thought it was a little goofy. I was like, what?
Yeah, and
why didn't they just create his character with 3 hands?
Exactly. I mean, you also think like, oh, it's Bill Burr. It makes sense now. He probably asked for that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, put me something goofy. I hate Star Wars anyway, so just do something goofy. We'll have a gun spring up over your shoulder.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Now you're thinking, John. Yeah, I would really love to see Cobb Vanth come back. I mean, Bailey, my Chase Cobb Vanth Funko is just like my near and dear. I love that thing. But yeah, I love the character from the. I mean, he starts off season 2, episode 1. We're meeting a new character in Mandalorian, and it's Cobb Vanth. And the minute they just showed him on screen, I was like, "Oh, dude, this is badass." This dude's, everyone's like, "That's Boba Fett," and it's like, That's clearly some random dude in his armor. So I mean, once they showed that armor, I'm like, dude, no way, he's back, and we're gonna see him at some point. But I mean, Cobb Vanth filled the void until we got Boba Fett, and then you just end up loving the character of Cobb Vanth.
Yeah, he was in the Aftermath novels too. It told pretty much his backstory and everything, how he was a slave, how he escaped, got the armor from the Jawas, and took over Freetown and ran the I forget what the syndicate was called, the Red Pajama Syndicate, I don't know, but he ran them out and took over as marshal and everything. So if you haven't at least got the audiobook of the Aftermath novels, it tells a lot about Cobb Vanth in there.
Oh, sweet.
And as soon as I saw him on screen, I was like, that's Cobb Vanth. I was like, yes, they brought Cobb Vanth into it. And everybody's like, no, that's Boba Fett. He's just damaged. No, it's Cobb Vanth. And then he takes off the helmet. I was like, see?
That's not Boba. He's not a silver fox.
Right. Then the end of that, I think it was that episode or the next episode, Boba Fett's watching Mando speed by, and he turns around. He's wearing the robes and everything. I was like, Boba freaking Fett. Everybody's like, no, that's just a random clone. That's not Boba Fett. He died in the third. Like, he's dead. Oh, ye with such little minds.
Right. I loved seeing that in The Mandalorian. And then even better yet, Boba Fett, seeing his point of view, seeing the flashes from when him and what was his name? Toro, the bounty hunter that was trying to get Fennec, the one that shot him. And his name was Toro. But we got to see Boba point of view with the Bantha, seeing the flashes go. Like, that was awesome. And then
cool.
The Din Djarin's score just hit right in the time. And I love these little things.
And you could hear Boba's sounds that he made in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi as he walked up to Fennec in The Mandalorian. You hear his sounds, and I'm like, Boba Fett's back. And
yes.
Too many people just, no. Well,
all right. We'll see next week or in 2 weeks.
Right. Like, I'm highlighting this comment. I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Don't forget either, because I'm gonna show you. And I think Fennec Shan's character too. I loved her. The first time we got to see her too. She's definitely one of those characters that is more of like a side piece, but when her significance is obviously apparent to the storyline, she's a remarkable character. When she's at Pelimoto's like garage and she's like, hey, looking for a job, and it's like, oh man, here they come, the band's getting together. I love that.
It was cool.
Yeah, it's hard to believe Ming-Na Wen's over 60 years old,
dude. Yeah, she's really
she looks
really
like 30.
Yeah, she's very good looking for her age. It's insane. She just got a star on the Walk of Fame too.
Did she?
Really? Awesome. About 2.
Well, if she ever sees this, congratulations.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Ming-Na, if you're watching, we love you.
For sure.
But yeah, more Fennec, and we get to see more Fennec probably in the next couple weeks on Bad Batch.
Yeah, probably.
I can't wait. And I wouldn't say Boba's far behind because they didn't meet until after all this is over, but he's got to be in. He's got it. They're going to miss a huge opportunity if they don't have Boba in his old armor.
Man. So do you think Boba will be in Jango's armor, or will he still be in like that Clone Wars like red and silver armor, from like when they
he'll be in the Jango armor.
He will.
It'll be the green and red too, because they had an unfinished episode of the Clone Wars where he and Cad Bane went toe to toe.
Right.
And that's how he got the dent in his helmet, and Cad Bane got the plate on his head. So that happened before the Bad Batch. So it just makes sense to have him in the red and green.
Yeah. I guess that does pan out right, because I was thinking that it would be cool if they finally showed the Cad Bane Boba Fett square off and make it over Omega. But obviously,
that would be cool too.
Last season of Bad Batch, when we saw Cad Bane and Fennec fighting,
he had the metal plate.
when she knocked his hat off, he had the plate on. So I guess, that can't happen now. Damn it. But
we need to just go back and finish that episode and put it out as like a special edition or something.
yeah. And dude, freaking give us the 3-episode arc of Dark Disciple. Just give us a visual of that.
Well, they've got the rough drawing of it out, like the rough animations all blocky and everything. They've got it out, but they just never finished it, and they need to go back and just do that. Those probably would be one of the best arcs of the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
I think it's almost no question, and I mean, obviously, I give it a little more bias because I love Quinlan, and I just mentioned I think of him every single day when I think of Star Wars, but it's I want to say it's really a missed opportunity, but I feel like a very high opinion would be that was the best arc of the Clone Wars. Obviously, Ahsoka and Rex getting away at the end, her beating Maul, like that's really, really cool. That just completed the Clone Wars and made episode 3 even more gut-wrenching, in my opinion. But Asajj Ventress being the complete undertone of the dark side, and everyone just kind of sweeping her under the rug. And same with Quinlan. They always just kick him out of the temple and here, go over here and do this because we don't want to send any of our like tried and true Jedi that follow the way.
Right, you're a wild man. Get out of our hair.
Yes,
we're gonna send the Walmart Jedi off to do this.
You go do this, and and he's like, all right, I'll do the dirty work, and the retrocognition that he holds, like Cal Kestis is able to see things through feel, and Ahsoka a little bit that we see in the Ahsoka series. I just feel like one of my favorite things that they could touch up on, especially in the Bad Batch, like I said in one of my videos that I just posted on my channel, is if Quinlan and Asajj actually end up helping Hunter and Wrecker trying to find Omega. Maybe Hemlock gets her finally and takes her away, and like maybe she leaves like a data pad or belonging to her of some sort, and Quinlan is there, and they're like, we have no idea where she went, but Quinlan goes over and touches the item and sees what happened, like the events of Hemlock or even Palpatine taking Omega. That gives them the lead. I feel like that's just perfect. It's a perfect way to bring him in.
Yep. I agree, man. Ever since I watched your video last night and we talked about it, I was like, holy crap. Yeah. I want to see this happen. I want to see him and Ventress raise Omega and teach her the true nature of the Force rather than just the Jedi's side or the Sith side. Because both Quinlan and Ventress now are more like in the gray area because they've both been in the dark and they've both been in the light, and they probably know how to balance it a little better than even Yoda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be insane. What I would like to see on top of that is, Omega being the first kid to go like down the path that Quinlan starts, like on Jabeam, how they try to get all those those kids off Mapuzo. And oh man, that would just be awesome seeing Omega run through the tunnel and Asajj and Quinlan are right behind her, and seeing how that sets up even to the Kenobi series. I mean, we still have like 10 years or 7 years probably now from Bad Batch to the Kenobi series. And Omega, as annoying as everyone I thought she was annoying at first too. I'm like, what is going on?
The voice.
Yeah. And you kind of got to put that to side because now season 3, Omega is like a serious deal. She's a female clone of Jango Fett, and she could possibly be, like Gerald said, a one being brought up from Quinlan and Asajj. Like imagine all of the potential that she was born with or cloned with, now giving her extra force, extra power from the brain of Asajj, Night Sister background, Quinlan, Jedi background, Jango Fett, Mandalore, bounty hunter background. Like she is like the best of all trades.
Yeah, she's got the trifecta for sure.
Like, dude, what the heck? What? Okay, check this out. I'm just getting ideas right off the bat. Imagine Omega grown and she starts getting, Night Sister like markings, tattoos on her face. And I mean, she couldn't get like Quinlan stripe because that's, you know, the Kfu, that's like his species. But she could have maybe a lightsaber. She could forge her own, but then also have some of the, you know, Kaminoan, you know, clone background. Like maybe she could get a little sport of armor, maybe some arm sleeves or something, but has a lightsaber and is strong with maybe magic even. Like maybe Asajj can learn that and teach Omega. Like you said, that's a trifecta, and I think that would be badass. And a
Yeah.
series, maybe even a series of its own.
Yep. Yeah. And
That'd be
that
cool.
may be where they go after the Bad Batch. I mean, it wouldn't be a Bad Batch anymore anyway. It'd just be Omega, Ventress, and Quinlan going around kicking ass. And that reminds me, does anybody know the name of Jude Law's character in the Skeleton Crew?
I do not.
I don't know.
I'm wondering if it's Quinlan Voss, because he's carting around a bunch of young Force sensitives. It's a stretch.
Wow.
I don't think that's what they would do, because I mean, he's not the guy I would cast.
No. I'd cast somebody definitely buffer than him, but I'm wondering if maybe he's a Quinlan type character, because he's kind of a Jedi master, I think, and he's carting around these Force sensitive kids. They get lost. I'm assuming in Peridia they're going to get lost, and that's where they find Ahsoka and Sabine and pull them out.
So do we think the Skeleton Crew could be, so maybe Jude Law's character is close with Quinlan. Maybe
Maybe he's in the path.
Yeah. Maybe Quinlan's like, hey, I have to do this. I'm like, can you handle this weight and go get these kids? I'm calling to them. And maybe that's what happens. But maybe with the Ahsoka series, do you think they're going to kind of go, the Skeleton Crew is going to be kind of like the Book of Boba Fett route, where it's Ahsoka basically season 1.5 and they get Ahsoka off of Peridia, and maybe
it very well could.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, because that would save up a lot of space for Ahsoka season 2 and the Mandalorian movie. It would save up time to get it away from that, and so we don't have to worry about going back and fishing them out and all that. They can just move forward with the story after that.
Yeah, because Ahsoka season 2 definitely is going to catch up with Thrawn, what they're doing on Dathomir, and Balin and Shin. You can't leave them out. That's a lot of story that they still need to tell.
Yep, and Balin, man, that's gonna be rough recasting him. Gerard Butler's the only person I think that could pull it off, but I hate to see Ray Stevenson replaced. The guy was a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, he was. I love Gar Saxon too. So just knowing that, you know, Ray was the voice of Gar Saxon, and he was such a good character, even in Rebels too, you know, like all the way up to that. Like, man, it's just so unfortunate, you know, some of the legends, like he's already a legend in the Star Wars universe, and just giving him a live action character in Balin Skull, it's just, dude, insane. Like that's he's definitely going to be missed.
Yeah, for sure. And he was only a few years older than me, so I was like, oh God, what's going on?
It can happen to anybody.
What's happening? People my age are dying off? Hell no.
No, keep it away.
Give me my fruit juice.
But yeah, man, I mean, imagine maybe, I mean, if Jude Law was maybe a little darker in skin tone, that would be nice. Like if Quinlan was Jude Law's character, but he kind of, you know, got rid of the dreads. But I feel like that's just his look. True. He just needs, you know, we need to see.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people want Jason Momoa to play Quinlan, but it's like, dude, that's
the
Aquaman.
Dude's overplayed. He's overplayed. Yeah. They use him for everything now. We need a buff guy. We got Vin Diesel, we got The Rock, and we got Jason Momoa. Who do we pick?
Hey,
Vin Diesel can't act, so not him.
I was gonna say
other two can.
I was gonna say if they do Dwayne The Rock Johnson or Vin Diesel, it's in their contract. They can never lose a fight. So Quinlan can never die. That would be the only safe haven
Is
for
it
him.
really in their contracts?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Because if you look at Fast and Furious, when Vin Diesel's character and The Rock had their square off, it just ended even. Like no one could win it. It's in the contract.
Oh my God.
That's why
ridiculous. That's some Tom Cruise shit there.
yeah, man. And Jason Momoa too. A lot of people think his best role was in Game of Thrones because he never talked.
Well, he spoke a made up language, so
Yeah.
it was easy to act that. That's right, man. You got it. You nailed
Great
it.
job, bro.
Knew exactly what you said.
My wife and I were watching it, and she got me to watch it. I never wanted to watch it before I got with her, and then she got me to watch it, and I saw him, and I look over at her. Really?
This is what we're watching. This is who they want as Quinlan Voss? No way, not happening.
Put your pants back on, man.
Yeah, like what are you doing? I thought I was watching a movie. Like, I'm not on the internet right now.
It's not the hub. What is going on?
Yeah, this is not the hub, man. This is Game of Thrones. It's called, I guess. Whatever. Game of Hub of Thrones. But I mean, maybe I don't know who. Is there anyone like off the top of your guys' heads that could play a Quinlan Voss? Because in the Kenobi series, any new project, I'm like, okay, how can Quinlan Voss be in this? But with the Kenobi series, I thought O'Shea Jackson Jr. was going to be playing Quinlan, Ice Cube's son, the guy that played Roken.
I could see that. I mean,
That wouldn't be.
He's a damn good actor.
That wouldn't be bad.
And I was like, oh, he's his own character. Okay. Cool, but I really thought he was going to be a Quinlan. I mean, throw some dreads on him, like badass, and he has that
yellow
stank
stripe
look
across his face.
Man, it would be awesome. And he also has that stank look that Ice Cube always, gave back in the '90s. Like it would be cool to see him kind of be menacing and also have like a joking side. So I mean, I feel like whoever they get to play Quinlan, it's gonna be a good cast. But I'm also ready for these damn collectible items of Quinlan Voss to finally freaking surface, man. I think there's only like one Lego minifigure of him from a Clone Wars set, and
Turbo Tank.
And I don't know if there's any hot toys of Quinlan. I don't think there is.
I don't think there are.
So
they have Ventress.
Yeah, they got Ventress. Her Hasbro Black Series figure even looks pretty good.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, it does.
So I mean, if they get that rolling, I think we'll be in good hands. The marketing for Star Wars is one of the best in my opinion, especially for collectors like all of us. But it
definitely is.
Asajj and Quinlan together give us that series. The voice actress for Asajj said that this is only the beginning. So you're like, holy shit, there's more to this. So I'm ready.
I want to see how they made her survive, though. That's gonna be tricky because pretty sure Dooku killed her. I was sure of it, and that broke my heart. I mean, I almost cried when I read that part of it.
It's tough. Damn. It's a tough read. I don't know. So Quinlan takes her back to Dathomir. So maybe. And the Night Sisters spoke to him, whispered, maybe Quinlan got like a essence of a Night Sister and was able to bring her back. I mean, that would be kind of a cheap route, but at the same time, how else do you bring her back? I mean, the Night Sisters do it all the time. It's it's part of the magic. Yeah. And oh my god, dude, when they brought back those stormtroopers and freaking
that was amazing.
Dude, my Return of the Living Dead and just the zombie guy in me, I was like, no fucking way, man.
Yeah, that was, and they were actually like fucking creepy too.
Oh yeah.
No, I was scared. I was like, okay, now stormtroopers are scary. Here we go.
Yeah.
And the violin riff that they just rip right as they wake, it's like, oh dude.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my fuck, I didn't expect this shit to actually be creepy.
Yeah, it was scary, dude. But you have to on Peridia. Peridia's scary, dude. Like there's Balin's hearing things talk to him. And like Shin's kind of like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you hear? I don't hear anything.
Shit, crazy man.
I hear bandits and little hermit crabs running around. I don't hear no voices.
Right.
Like, what is
These
going
turtle
on?
crab people.
Oh, dude, like, man. See, and I feel like this discussion today, especially linking within the Mandoverse, there's so much opportunity. I mean, we have Skeleton Crew coming out that we still have no idea about. I mean, we know the premise, but we don't know exactly what's going to go on.
It's gonna be so good.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited for it. I know a lot of people who don't want it, and I'm like, why? And they're calling it like the Stranger Things of Star Wars, which it's like, well, I love Stranger Things, I love Star Wars, so I'm all for
Right.
it.
Right. Well, a lot of the people that are hating on this stuff are just Disney haters.
Yeah.
So they bleed over into our franchise and it sucks, it sucks, it sucks. Disney sucks. And you always see that Disney sucks. They don't put two and two together. Disney doesn't write this stuff. It's Lucasfilm still writing the stuff with the story group. And Disney just shells the money out and gives them an opening date and says, here you go. Make it good.
Yeah.
That's I mean, yeah. I mean, you look at those people that don't like Disney Star Wars, and it's like, well, let me take Rogue One from you. You can never watch it again. It's Disney Star Wars. If you hate it, you can't have Rogue One no more.
Right.
I'm a
or Rebels, because most people like Rebels. Bye Rebels.
Exactly.
You gonna take Andor too?
Yeah.
Season 7 of the Clone Wars.
Season 7 of the Clone Wars. Like, goodbye. You can't have it no more.
It's gone.
And yeah. Hey, no, I feel like for the most part, a lot of people love The Mandalorian, even just the casual TV watcher. Just I have a couple friends that have only seen The Mandalorian, haven't even seen Star Wars, and they're just like, dude, it's like one of the best series I've ever watched. And I'm like, dude, imagine if you went and watched all the Star Wars, how much more you'd love The Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's fact.
Right. You'd understand the cameos and all that stuff and the storyline and how they got to the point they're at and where they end up. You'd feel more for it.
Yeah, that would be, I mean, that's a good approach. I mean, everyone has their own way of watching all the Star Wars films, whether they start with 4, 5, and 6, or start 1, 2, 3, or there's like a machete timeline. I don't know if you guys have seen that, where you like watch Rogue One, and then you watch Episode 4, and then you like go back and like watch like a certain season of the Clone Wars, and then you start with Episode 1, and it's like this huge like stagger of a timeline. And it's like, yeah,
I've never heard of that one. That's too
way it is way too much. I'm just gonna watch it in either 4, 5, 6 or 1, 2, 3. I feel like there's only 2 ways to watch it.
Right.
Yeah, thanks.
But I mean, I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I mean, we kind of went into it as a open topic today, and I mean, it seems like we keep ending up in the Mandoverse. Is there any other point in the Star Wars Skywalker saga we want to talk about?
The Acolyte coming out soon. So, but we don't really know a whole lot about that yet to talk enough about it, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, we do know. I think it's more of the Sith point of view from what I've been reading. It's going to be kind of,
that'll be cool.
And I think the Sith main lead, she is going to be having, I think she has like a twin sister or something. So the actress is actually playing 2 characters, and they're twins, from what I've read. But Reddit
cool.
Reddit is part of the internet, so you can only take so much that you want.
Right.
I mean,
that could either be a good idea or a bad idea.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see.
Hey, live action Wookiee Jedi. I'll take my money.
Bring it.
Take my money.
Yeah, that's fair.
What else? And only thing of the Acolyte, I wouldn't even be disappointed if they didn't do it. But just end the series, give the Acolyte just maybe 1 or 2 seasons, and end the season with a 5-second clip of Palpatine kneeling to Plagueis, like a young Palpatine.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And just cut it. Just cut it. Go to credits. I would shit bricks.
No, that's good. That'd be good.
Yeah, I'd be down with that. Or
I mean,
showing Palpatine killing Plagueis in his sleep or something, and then end it.
I think that was between Phantom Menace and Attack the Clones. That might be a little late.
Oh, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, a little late, but that would be really fucking cool to see that. Just go up there with the lightsaber as he's sleeping, just boom. Cuts to fucking black.
I wonder how they do it. I wonder how Palpatine does kill Plagueis. Is it mentioned in any book? I haven't read
that I've read. I mean, I think it might have been in the Plagueis novel, but it's been so long since I've read that one. I can't really remember.
He just says killed him in his sleep.
I wonder if does he force choke him while he's sleeping? Does he just get him quick with the lightsaber, quick ignition?
I think that'd be the coolest. Like,
yeah, that'd probably be the best way to do it because Plagueis was already powerful, and choking him, that gives him an opportunity to wake up and come out of it. And, and fight back. But the lightsaber to the head while he's sleeping, that'd probably end it pretty quick.
Yeah. I also think if they throw that, like you never show, I mean, the Force choke's gonna be one thing, but if they just show just go up there, just boom, I think that there's gonna be like that's gonna be everywhere. Like, holy shit,
dude!
Oh, Star Wars will blow up.
Oh my! Imagine we get to see like a camera shot of maybe Palpatine looking down at Plagueis while he's sleeping, like eyes closed, but then the camera flips and we're getting a POV of like Plagueis, and it's like looking up at Palpatine, and you just see his red lightsaber just flash, and his face flashes red, and then it's off, and then it shuts. So you know that he did like a quick ignition. Dude, that would be insane.
That'd be cool. It's like the end of the show, and there's like a paywall, $5 to watch the final scene.
Oh, dude, that would be so intense.
Star Wars.
My credit card information is.
Take all my money.
CVV number 123. Take my money.
Take it now. We're good. Let's see it.
Oh, dude, that would be so nice. I think hopefully with the Acolyte we can see something of and I know Bailey and I have talked about this, a Yoda in the white and gold robes. And we see
the temple robes. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it'd be so badass. And I think what's really cool about even Keller and Beck's character, so like when he saved Grogu, he has like that gold striping through his robe. So I think that would be really cool if they kind of show like maybe some Jedi that were maybe more on the warrior side, because you know they called him Saber Hand. He had 2 lightsabers, really good with the lightsaber. Maybe some of the more skilled in offensive attacks, you know, maybe like different forms from like 1 to 4 get the gold robe, like gold in their robes more so. I think that'd be really, really cool if they kind of throw in what the different robes mean, why they evolve, why Anakin was in dark, why Obi-Wan, you know, was more on the tan side. Mace Windu
Luke was in dark.
You know, like give it more of a symbolic side to it. You know, I think that would be really cool. It's an early
quit making Yoda look homeless.
Yeah, like come on.
Yoda looks like an Oscar the Grouch coming out the garbage can all the time. It's like, dude, I know you got clean robes. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
You are a grand master. You can't afford better robes. Come on.
You can ask for anything. It's yours. This is all yours.
Right.
Or it's supposed to be, anyways.
That's nice.
But yeah, I think the Acolyte, I mean, that's only now 3 months away. So, I mean, that's just right around the corner. This year is already flying by quick. So it'll be here before we know it.
Yes, it will. And then the end of the year, we got Skeleton Crew. Early next year, we have Andor season 2.
I can't wait for that one.
Yeah. I can't wait to see that final scene of Andor and how it just loops right into him in Rogue One. I mean, that's what they already said it's going to lead up to. So I'm really excited to see that.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool.
Yep.
And I think we're getting, 2026, right?
Yep. And I want to see what they do with that. because I think they've learned a lesson on the sequels that, you know, we got to give her some trials and tribulations or something, which she's had. Just I don't know. I don't even know.
Not a whole lot of.
Right. I mean, she had her failures. She thought she killed Chewbacca.
Oh, dude,
that tore.
I thought she killed Chewbacca.
Same. I was like, no, this is not how Chewie dies.
I about walked out of the fucking theater.
Dude,
I was like, no fucking way. I'm done. And the next scene, they got like the thing. He's right there, and I was like,
yeah. When I went into the movie, I said, okay, I'm going in with an open mind. As long as they don't kill C-3PO, R2-D2, or Chewbacca, I'm good. Anybody else, whatever. Because we know Carrie Fisher died, and Han Solo's been dead, and Luke died in The Last Jedi. So anybody else, whatever. But don't kill any of those three. And then Chewbacca blows up. And I'm like, are you serious?
That was so
one thing. You had one job.
Yeah, you had one job and you screwed it up. I love that though. Like when, you know, Rey's starting to use just a little more power to like pull the ship down, and then just that sound, I can, you know, still hear it, just crackles and just the lightning shoot out. It's like, holy shit, what the fuck? And then blew the whole ship up at that. Like, what the hell?
What the fuck?
And it's like, yep, she is a Palpatine. And like, that's when Kylo Ren's like, oh, that's what Palpatine was talking about. You don't know who she is. Okay.
Like, oh, damn, I'm skating out.
That was wild.
He's like, I don't even want this final order. You can have that. I'm good.
I'm going home.
I get why my uncle ran away. I get why Yoda ran away. Obi-Wan ran away. It makes sense now.
They saw this shit. Oh,
yeah. I'm going home. See ya.
Yeah, dude. Huge thing for the Rey film. Just let her kind of take that lead in that little training that she had from Luke, and kind of show what Luke could have had with the temple that he created, the Jedi Academy. But her knowing what can happen if she, you know, if she dabbles in with the dark side. That's what she comes from. You know, she's a Palpatine. So she's going to have those, you know, trial and tribulations that she's going to have to deal with. She's now taking the Skywalker name. She's a Palpatine, but she's going to really maybe be the one that we get to see on screen have the true balance of the Force later in the timeline. So I think it'd be.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. I think it would be really cool for, you know, her to show that she can tap in with the dark side and use it for good, and also tap in with the light side to kind of show that, you know, this is ultimately the way to go. But there's not like a good, there's not a bad. It's just who can wield the Force and use it for good, if that makes sense. Instead of always choosing a side, because, you know, characters like Maul, like, what did he mean bad? Not always. He was
most of the time
very, very misunderstood, and was definitely brought up with the dark side. But, you know, more so in Rebels, you really get to understand, like, oh, dude, I fucking feel bad for him, you know?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of characters like that where it's like, okay, they didn't mean bad, they didn't mean good, but it's you feel bad, you know? And so I think it'd be cool for Rey to kind of go down that direction and just use everything for a good.
I don't know. If somebody chopped me in half and my genitals went falling down a shaft, I think I'd be
no
after
shit.
Too. Just saying. There's no misunderstanding that.
I don't have that no more. Now I got these weak ass legs, and then Mother Talzin gives me these goddamn things, but I guess they'll work.
Gotta be like a spider for like 10 years.
Oh, dude. But yeah, I mean, Gerald, what were you gonna say before we got into it?
To me, with Rey taking the name Skywalker makes a lot of sense, because Skywalker isn't the embodiment of good. Both Skywalkers before her had darkness, and they both exhibited that darkness and even used it. Luke controlled it a lot better than Anakin did. Luke didn't go around killing kids or anything, but
yeah,
they both had it. So Rey taking on that name, it's showing that she has the darkness too, from the Palpatine side, the goodness from what she was taught from the Skywalkers. So it kind of, I think you're right with the whole balance thing. A new generation of Jedi, maybe not Jedi, but I originally, when I saw the name Rise of Skywalker, I thought, okay, they're going to start a new order and call it the Skywalker rather than the Jedi to balance the light and the dark. So Skywalker could just still be a title for her rather than a name.
Ooh, what if they take that approach in the Rey film?
I think a lot of people would think differently of the sequels if they did that.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not a name. It's like a way of life, basically.
Yeah.
To be a Skywalker. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's something I would have never thought about.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either. She should have just said Rey Palpatine though, just to see how those people reacted.
They're like,
oh, then the other half would be like, no.
That lady's like, well, who are you? No one's been around here in years. She's like, I'm Rey Palpatine. She's like, oh fuck.
Then she zapped her with lightning. Ow! Nosy old bitch.
Keep your nose out of here. I'm trying to sink these lightsabers. Yeah. I'm trying to sink these lightsabers. I looked over and saw a force ghost of two people I really admire. Now I gotta kill your ass because you're too nosy.
Now this bitch done saw where I hid the lightsabers.
God damn it! Now she's asking questions.
Oh, dude,
Get to see that. Any witnesses?
Or we get to see her take her down with that yellow lightsaber. That thing's badass, dude.
I want to see more of that. I mean, I bought the Legacy one from Disney World, but I want to see her use it because mine doesn't cut things.
Yeah, it's false advertisement. I bought it to freaking slice shit and it doesn't work.
Right. It just hits.
Yeah, that's something I need to get on my list as I want to get a NeoPixel lightsaber. There's a lot of those online companies and I need one. I just need one.
Yeah, those are not cheap at all. Mine are all LED.
Yeah. I know, and there's a lot of like baselit ones that look good, but it's like I'm gonna have to just spend the buck, I guess, and just get one I know I'll love for a long time. So but all right, guys. Well, I mean, this has been a good show, like I knew it was. So we're just right around that hour mark. I do want to shout out these guys for coming on the channel again. Gerald being his first time. Like I've said, you guys have all seen Bailey if you're not new to the channel, but if you're new, this is a podcast where we just try to keep it positive, talk about all good things and even sometimes bad things in Star Wars, and just keep it nice and simple. We want this to be a chill place for you guys to come and just enjoy some Star Wars talk and banter. But Gerald, go ahead and let everyone know what you're a part of, what you do, and where they can find you.
Yep. Pretty easy. Star Wars Fanatic on YouTube, Star Wars Fanatic Gerald on Instagram, and I think Darth Gerald or Gerald Darth or something on Twitter. I don't have a TikTok anymore because I can't stand freaking TikTok. But yeah, that's pretty easy to find me. I hope. I think it would be by now. I don't know.
Yeah, so think Gerald, think Star Wars, and think that he's a fanatic because that's what he is. It's all in the name. Don't forget.
Absolutely.
And
thank you, Brand. I appreciate you having me on, man. Bailey, good to meet you, man.
Yes, sir. You too.
No problem. And yeah, we'll definitely get you on the show again, hopefully within the next couple weeks or even next month even. It's always good talks. Gerald and I actually met. He kicked my ass in some Star Wars trivia over on Seriously Star Wars, old Christopher. And I got
lucky. I got really lucky. I was actually drunk too. So
the power of rye whiskey. And imagine being sober as hell and getting your ass beat.
We should do something like that on here, some kind of trivia thing. That'd be fun.
Nah, that would be tight. Just kind of talk some crap. I know that book that Christopher has, it's just like these random Star Wars things that you almost wouldn't even have any clue about. Like how many trash items were in the trash compactor in A New Hope. And you're like, maybe 2,000 trash items. I don't know. And it's like, nope, it was 17. You're like, what? No way.
I even answered eggs one time for how many turbo lasers. And he's like, somehow that's right. I was like,
Jesus.
The force was strong with Gerald that day.
Nah, I'm kidding. Me.
But thank you guys for watching. Thank you two for joining me today. Happy Sunday.
Thank you, man.
Everyone stream this. Go follow Gerald. Bailey and Gerald's stuff will be linked below, so make sure you go check that out. But until next time, Clan Brandolorian, I'm out.